Well, 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 I think a lot of people are about to sell their car. The Z06 is finally revealed officially. So first things first, let's talk about the unveil, break it down, and what are my thoughts on it. All of these insane rumors of this American car were all true, which is so refreshing. So Mr. Justin Bell walks out from the shadows to introduce the new Z06. And by the way, Justin Bell, super nice guy. I've worked with him, and in fact, he overheated and also popped my tire on my 240SX at Sebring. Well, we found it.
This car and I have a relationship.
Yeah.
We've never had the date that we're supposed to.
Yeah. But that wasn't his fault. I just needed a better cooling system. But he talks about it, announces it, and then I'm expecting a big showboaty entrance like the Nissan Z, but instead we get basically a documentary. The first thing they talk about is how the Z06 nameplate was just a code in 1963 if you wanted the most track-spec'd Corvette. And then with the C5, they officially brought it out as a brand. And the C5 Z06 is still one of the best bargains of performance you can get today. But the sound is amazing. I was fortunate to go up to the General Motors Proving Grounds, which by the way, if you'd like to see that video, put it up here. But on the Proving Grounds, I saw the Z06 testing way in the distance, and I wanted to talk about it with everybody there, and I pretty much wasn't allowed to talk about it. You could tell that whenever I wanted to bring it up, people felt slightly uncomfortable, but I heard it in the distance. It looked amazing. Didn't get an up close look, but I drove right by one, and I was like, that's gonna be sweet. And during this little mini documentary, they're saying race car for the street, which is a very scary thing for manufacturers to say, in my opinion. A lot of the times people will be like, oh yeah, it's a race car for the street, and then you get in it, it's completely unlivable. But you know it's gonna have a full interior and have all the creature comforts, and it's gonna be crazy dumb fast. And they talk about how in the video that this elevates the Corvette's brand, and I have to agree with them. The Corvette will never be seen the same way again. It will not only just be the New Balance High Sock midlife crisis car. This is a serious performance car, and it's gonna change the entire world's operating procedures for building sports cars. It is going to be its own benchmark for its pricing and its performance. So let's talk about the performance. We were right, flat plane crank, but an 8,600 RPM redline with 670 horsepower. That's the highest horsepower naturally aspirated V8 of all time in a production car. The amount of R&D they had to do, the materials that they had to use, it's unmatched. Titanium rods, forged pistons, everything had to basically be designed in a way to where the vibration's not gonna tear apart the engine. Because you have things like the Ferrari 458, which was the Z06's benchmark. But now with all this information, it's going to be better than a Ferrari 458. Sure, the 458 is basically 10 years old, but still, a car that cost a house. That's what I'm saying. That's how the technology has trickled down and the research and development has trickled down. Unbelievable stuff. But I had to say, this is the best edited car reveal of all time. It's shot really well, it's lit really well, the interviews are well done. Oh my God, is it giving me an emotional response? So I thought that was unbelievable, and I'm just like, tell me more. I want to know more. And also, big shout out to Amelia Hartford. She completely rocked the world with her C8. And Amelia, if you're watching, you totally earned the opportunity to be on that panel. And also, of course, ride in the Z06 first. Love it. You did a great job. And yeah, just wish the best, because I know you're probably gonna get one, obviously. Also, quick story before we move on. Me and Amelia, we met in London for the Hobbs and Shaw thing we did together. Say hi to Amelia.
What's up, brother from another brother?
And I remember we were at dinner, and I asked her, what are your plans? And she said, I'm gonna buy a C8 Corvette. I said, are you sure? It might be a little expensive. And she said, I'm gonna do it. And look at her now. Was the right decision. So amazing work. It's a hand-built engine, and the manufacturing has to be absolutely perfect for this to work out with basically some liability. If you think about it, if you have this much going on in the engine at that kind of RPM, things could go wrong if it's not absolutely perfect. They also figured out a way to get the exhaust kind of bounce back in a way into the cabin rather than funneling in and making artificial sound like a lot of car companies are doing nowadays, because cars are getting less and less analog the longer we go or the farther we go with technology. But Chevy found a way to get the exhaust note to bounce all the way back, so in the cabin you basically get almost the same sensation as if you heard it from the outside. And Chevy stepped up their game and spent all this time developing this exhaust. It's amazing that America is doing the things it's doing right now with performance cars. It's unbelievable. But the Z06 in general, the fascias, everything, all the aero on the car, it's all different from the C8 or the Z51 package. The aerodynamics has been completely redone. Almost every body panel on the car is different from the original C8. That is because they needed to fit bigger tires, bigger brakes, all these different things that made this a better car than the C8, because the C8 is a hard act to follow. The C8 is a great car, and for Chevy's first ever mid-engine car, what a great practice run for this one. This is where the true mid-engine Corvette finally exists in my mind. The first one, sure, I understand, but this one is like, that's a mid-engine Corvette. That's what everybody wants. An LS motor revs to mid 6,000s, and then a Coyote motor goes to mid 7,000s stock. You can pretty much rev it pretty high now. The GT350 paved the way for American car companies to go, oh yeah, that's interesting technology that the Italians have been using and other car companies have been using. Why don't we try it? And let's put it in a Mustang. So you're taking this flat plane crank technology and putting it in a more affordable package, you know, without dealer markups, but you get my drift. So GT350 happens, Z06 is now kind of that new wave, and look, it's gonna be a better car at the end of the day. But the thing is about the Z06 is that they claim it's going to be $85,000 or around that price. I said in the last video, I call BS. I don't buy that whatsoever. I think it's gonna have crazy dealer markups, and that's really unfortunate. When we see Z06s on the street for the first time, oh my God, what a change of pace. Seeing a Lamborghini or Ferrari is cool, but if you're not really that into it, or you feel like they're so unrelatable, the Corvette, even though it's gonna have a fairly big price tag, it's still gonna feel more down to earth. A lot of my friends in the tuner community, they go, yeah, exotics are cool, but I'm just not into them because I will never have one, or I can't relate to that. The Corvette will be a more relatable goal in life. It'll be a more attainable supercar for the masses, and that's so exciting. The Z07 package also goes to 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. A naturally aspirated car that goes 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. That is so ridiculous. And it's not like a V12 from the Aventador or something, you know what I mean? It's a freaking V8. I can't even talk. This is wonderful. I am so excited. But in order to get one, I would have to sell pretty much every car I own. So put that in the comment section below if you want that to happen. I'm getting really sidetracked, sorry. I am really excited about this car. Think about this, guys. The Nissan Z gave us the Japanese, more affordable side. That is the car to get. Or the GR86 if you want to go really on a budget in comparison. But the Z06, it's gonna make every car company rethink everything it does, like we talked about earlier. Also, I briefly want to touch the Nürburgring testing. Nürburgring is almost like a marketing thing now for a lot of people. A lot of people think that Nürburgring is like an overrated place to benchmark cars. Absolutely not true. If the Z06 can master the Nürburgring, I'm telling you, it's gonna be an amazing car. And not only that, I've driven on the Nürburgring, and it is one of the sketchiest racetracks you'll ever do by yourself. You pretty much have to do it your first time with an instructor or you're in trouble. It's an amazing track, and it's amazing that they developed that car there, for sure. It's not a gimmick, it's the real deal. So, final thoughts on the new Z06. I'm glad all the rumors were true. This will change the car world forever. We have reached the absolute peak of the internal combustion engine, where you can theoretically get a flat plane, high horsepower V8 under $100,000. And it's such a good feeling. It's such an amazing feeling of the times we're in. We are in the best times to be car people because we have hit the peak of one technology. Sure, the electric stuff a lot of people are scared of, but the fact that we have the best combustion and we're moving on to just the dawn of another side of car culture, this is it, man. This is the renaissance, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. Guys, what do you think about the new C8 Z06? Put it down in the comment section below. And also, what do you think is gonna be the main competitor of the C8 Z06? Put it down in the comment section below. And on that note, guys, I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, except this one. This one's probably on Wednesday because it's the day after the unveil. And also, please help me out and hit that like button. It makes a huge difference. And at the same time, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell for more videos. And on that note, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to me talk about this and how excited I am. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye. This video is brought to you by Patterson Car Care. Get double of premium original detail product for half the price. Head over to PattersonCarCare.com or go to the link in the description below.